Hi, friend, and welcome back to my kitchen. Well, I'm not in my kitchen right now, but I will be in just a few moments. But I wanted to give you a quick introduction because this time I prepared this recipe in a different way because I wanted to show you more of what I do when I make this recipe. This is an applesauce stack cake, and it is super near and dear to my heart. It is a recipe from my grandma, who I affectionately call Mama. And she most likely got this recipe from her mom, and so on and so forth. So this is a family recipe, and I am here to tell you right now that although most of what I make, I try to keep it healthy, this is not a healthy recipe, okay? However, it's delicious, and it is absolutely the best recipe to not only share with friends, but also to have help making. So it's a bit of a process, as you'll see in a little bit, but there is a beauty in the time that it takes, especially if you have friends or kids or anything like that helping you and doing it with you. Then they get to be in on this too, and you can share stories and all that fun stuff. So without further ado, I'll get started and I'll walk you through my process of making this applesauce stack cake. To start us off, we've got some egg, sugar, and any type of fat that you would like. I'm using just egg here, and you're gonna blend that up until it's nice and creamy. Then you're going to start adding in a little bit of flour and eventually a little bit of milk. And you're going to alternate the two until you get a nice thick dough where it feels more like pastry. So as you can see, I've moved now to a spoon. So you'll add in a little bit of milk, a little bit of flour, and as I mentioned, you will keep doing that, alternating or mixing them together if you happen to have too much liquid in, until you get a nice stiff dough, kind of like this. So this is to the point where I'm ready to start kneading the dough. So you're going to ditch the spoon and get your hands in there. And start working that last bit of flour in. So I'm using one hand, so it's not the prettiest form of kneading the dough, but essentially you want to start to bring everything together into a nice smooth ball. And once you make that ball, you'll divide it into 8 pieces, and then each piece you're going to roll out with a rolling pin. You want this super thin. I bake 2 at a time, but you want it super, super thin. And then you're going to bake it for about 15 minutes at a moderate temperature until they're crisp. While those layers are baking, go ahead and make your filling, which is the biggest jar of applesauce you can find, plus cloves, allspice, and cinnamon. Add in a little bit of sugar here too to get it super delicious. Once everything is baked, you will then layer your pieces of cake. They're going to be really tough, and so you're going to put a piece of cake down, put on applesauce, add another layer of cake, add on more applesauce, and I'm here to tell you right now that you are going to want to use more applesauce than you think you need. Make it a mess. You want this cake is going to soak in all of that applesauce, and it will rehydrate the cake and make it soft and really easy to eat, and it won't be dense and dry at all. This cake also has to rest for about a day before you eat it, so the cake layers have time to soak in that applesauce. So plan ahead on this one and keep going until you've used up all of your cake. And finally, here is mine. I didn't let it rest long enough, unfortunately, because we had a party and I wanted to dig in. So it was a little bit hard to cut, but when I ate it the next day, it was perfect. So again, give it time at least 24 hours. And you'll see here in just a moment that when you pull the slice out, it's got these beautiful layers, and you can make as many layers as you want here. So make like a double batch and make a giant, huge, tall cake. But, ooh, almost lost it there. So I hope you enjoyed this format of this video. It's a little bit different, but I had a really good time making it, and our friends and family got to enjoy this cake. Again, share this cake with so many people. It ends up being so big, and it's actually a really filling cake too. So just honestly, it could be a meal with a cup of tea or coffee. So, but yeah, let me know if you give this recipe a try, and leave a comment down below what you think, or if you've even ever tried a cake like this. I haven't yet met anyone who has had a cake like this before, so if you have, let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear your experience and kind of what your family's take on this cake is. But yeah, be sure to subscribe, like this video if you do. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'd love to get 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That's kind of my goal, because we're just starting out, and I'm really excited to be here, and I hope you are too. So until next time, I'll see you.